Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be going over how to create a Zenphi flow that can import information from a Google Sheet into a Google slide. So let's go ahead and get started. The first step to any Zenphi flow is to set up your trigger. In Zenphi, the trigger is the action that's going to initiate the workflow. So in this case, we're using the Google Drive trigger, meaning every time a file is added to a specific folder that we will be selecting, it's going to start the flow. So in this case, to be able to do so, you have to set up a connection. This is going to grant Zenphi permission to be able to access the folder. So to do so, you just have to click on the plus icon, or if you've already set up a connection, it should appear in the drop-down menu. And then all you have to do is click this Google Drive icon and you'll be able to select which folder you wish to monitor. So as a quick summary, what I'm looking to do is take this information from the Google Sheet. I have the name of the student, what grade they're in, and their teacher. So wherever you wish to import information and update it with information from the sheet, make sure to use these curly brackets to be able to let Zenphi know where the placeholder is and where it needs to update the information. So in this case, since I want to update the student name, the grade, and the teacher's name, I've put all of those variables inside of the two curly brackets. So now going to the flow, the first action or step that we have is this one called read rows. I named it read students. So again, you have to set up the connection and you have to let it know which file it's going to be reading the rows in. So in this case, you would select the Google Sheet and you just let it know which sheet. In this case, I only have one, but if you click on this icon, you can select a sheet if you have more than one sheet. If you scroll down at the bottom, you do have to select if you want it to be all the rows, maybe a range of rows, and if your sheet has a header. Since mine does, as we can see here, I have the grade, the teacher, the name, and then once you click load header, you'll be able to see the header of each one of the columns in your sheet and you can give it a personalized name. Okay, moving on to the next action. This one is called for each, meaning it's going to repeat the process for each one of the items in a specific collection. In this case, what collection do we have? It would be the collection of students. So for every student or for every row, you could say it's going to repeat the process. To set this up, you just click on the little wrench tool and you can select which collection. In this case, if you click here, this is called a token picker. This allows you to include information or data from a previous step, in this case from the Google Sheet. So if we click on this, we can open up read students and we can use the number of rows as our collection. So for every single row, it's going to be repeating the process. And what is it going to be repeating? It's going to be generating a certificate for each one of the students. So if we open up this action, is called generate slides, meaning it's going to create a new slide for each one of the students. Again, you have to set up your connection with Google Slides, indicate which file is going to be the template. So in this case, for me, it would be this one. You can select your file using the Google Drive icon here. And you have to select where you want to save it and what name you want the file to be saved as. In this case, since I do have their student name, I can use this using the token picker. For each student, I can get their specific name, and that way I can put certificate 4. So you can use the token picker to personalize your file names and any information inside of your action. Now, if you scroll down at the bottom, you'll be able to load the tokens and assign a value to each one of the placeholders. To be able to do that, again, you just have to select the placeholder and you'll be able to get that information from here. So I would assign the student name to the one that says student name, the grade to the one that says grade, and the teacher's name for the token that says teacher's name. This does give you the option to generate the PDF if that's something you're looking to do. And remember, you're able to add as many steps or remove steps if they aren't necessary to your flow. Maybe you want to export the PDF, send it by email. Those are all options that you are able to do with Zenphi. All you have to do is search by action, or you can always click on the plus icon and you'll be able to look at all the different actions that are available. Now let's go ahead and test run. To do that, we just need to save, test run, select a file to start, and I'm going to use the spreadsheet. Okay, as we can see, it's generating the certificates. And right now we'll open our Google Drive to be able to see each one of those already created. As you can see here, since it is in a loop, it's generating a certificate for each one of the students for as many students as there are rows. In this case, there's only 3. but if I were to add more names, it would do it for each one of the students. And as you can see here, I did ask it to save in a folder called Final Certificates. And as you can see on my drive, I do have a folder with that name. And if I open it, I have a certificate for each one of the students with their name. So let's go ahead and open one up so we can make sure that it replaced all the information. And yes, here it has the name, the grade, and the teacher. And that would be everything. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, you can always check out our YouTube channel where you'll be able to find more tutorials on different use cases using different actions so that you can become a pro using Zenphi in no time. So make sure to check that out if you're looking to learn more.